In the last stream, we were working on setting up an automatic wheat farm using the harvesting and collecting drones from Pneumaticraft. And I'm happy to report that the farm is working pretty well. Between streams, I've gone ahead and put down a bunch of dark oak logs around the outside of the farm and then filled in the gap in between with water to allow us to hydrate every single piece of farmland and allow us to use the maximum 17 by 17 area worth of farmland that our drones can currently plant and gather from with their current lack of range upgrades. And as you can see, whenever there's a bit of wheat that's fully grown, the harvesting drone does make its way over, pops the wheat and the wheat seeds off, and then the collecting drone follows that guy out and grabs the stuff, places it into this chest, and occasionally, when they get a little low on pressure, they go over to this charging station. You'll see right now they're actually both doing pretty well on charge. They've both got 2.4-ish, 2.2 bar, and that's because between streams I've gone ahead and just put a bunch of tiny coal into this item hopper, feeding into the air compressor. It is a little bit wasteful because of the fact that we're just kind of deleting pressure whenever it gets above 5 bar, which is not ideal. I really don't want to have to fight these guys again. Not that it really matters too much. I don't think we're too close to another village, and so I don't think it's likely that we cause another raid anytime soon. But essentially, the plan for today is initially going to be to try and actually utilize these chickens now that we have basically unlimited wheat and unlimited wheat seeds. As we've said before, it's really the wheat seeds that we're after. Between streams, I've done a little bit of chicken breeding. I've also set up a secondary pen here. This secondary pen, which is not at all an exclusionary pen or a worse pen in any way, but it is for the worst chickens. These chickens here are the ones that I have deemed too garbage to be in the real pen, and so you'll see there's a lot of 1-1-1 chickens just kind of hanging around in there. They just get their own space, you know? And so over here, I did do a little bit of breeding. I did breed. I think we had a 10-9-10, and we had like a 9-7-9. I bred those two guys together, and you probably just saw him a second ago. Yeah, there's the 9-7-9. And over here, we now have our first 10-10-10 chicken, which I'm very happy about. There's our 10-9-10, and there's our 9-7-9. So I bred these two guys together to make this guy, and in fact, we can probably do the same thing again now. I think it's been long enough to where we are going to have what it takes to breed them a second time. What we should probably also do is maybe set up another pen for our 10-10-10 chickens, because those are the chickens that we're really after. Those are what this whole endeavor has been about. And so what I think I might do, it's going to look a little janky. What else is new? But I might just go ahead and do something like this, and then we can use our little chicken catcher right here to move the prized chickens over to the 10-10-10 area, and then from there we can just kind of breed the 10-10-10 chickens together to get guaranteed more 10-10-10 chickens. I don't think there's a chance that you get less than 10-10-10 if you breed a 10-10-10 with a 10-10-10. And of course, as we saw before, the idea now is to take whatever resource it is that we want to make, pump the 10-10-10 chickens full of that resource to the point that they convert into that resource's chicken, and then we basically have a way of generating an unlimited amount of that resource utilizing seeds, which we are now making unlimitedly. So you should not be out. There you go. Thank you. Good chicken. So let's see real quick if we can't get our 9-7-9 chicken to breed with our 10-9-10 chicken again. I'm hopeful this will create another 10-10-10 chicken. Oh, I got 10-9-10. That was very close, though. And I have been breeding all the other chickens, of course, to try and up their stats as well, because the more chickens we have that are just of high stats in general, the quicker it is for us to get more of those 10-10-10 chickens. Because ideally, what I want to do here is I do want to take this first chicken and kind of use him as our guinea pig. So initially, my plan was going to be to get ourselves a coal chicken. And I think that's probably still a decent idea. We're not going to need the coal as much as I initially thought, because my plan for today is going to be to hopefully replace this air compressor right here with a fluid, and by fluid I mean liquid, compressor. This one right here. This compressor works in the exact same way as the fuel compressor, but instead of burning solid fuel, like coal or wood, it burns, you guessed it, liquid fuel, such as lava. And the reason why I think that's going to be a better solution is that if we check the quest book here under the compressed quest line, we can get this fluid generator, which is from the same mod that adds the resource generators. I have seen a little bit of confusion in the YouTube comments, by the way, about the resource generators here. Unfortunately, we can't generate most blocks with this. People were saying we should use it for the obsidian. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. If we look at the resource generator in JEI, if you press U while hovering over it, these right here are the resources that you can duplicate with the resource generator. So it's cobblestone, it's basalt, it's tuff, it's dripstone, it's sandstone, blackstone, regular stone, and calcite. These are the only things that you can duplicate. You can't just put any block you want on there and duplicate it, unfortunately, even if it is like a vanilla block like obsidian. So with that in mind, what we can do, though, is we can get ourselves a fluid generator, and this is able to produce lava. Again, if you press U on it and go to the fluid generator tab, these are the fluids it can make. Those are water, crude oil, and lava. Lava being the key one, because if we can make an unlimited amount of lava, we can just pump that lava directly into the liquid compressor, and the liquid compressor is then going to continually power our charger. Again, we can do the same setup, or we can leave the same setup, I should say, with the little safety valve here. We are going to delete excess lava, but I don't believe that the fluid generator requires any power whatsoever, and so we'll be essentially generating free lava, and then although we will be wasting a little bit, it was free to begin with, and so it's not really particularly useful. So if we want to make that fluid generator, it actually looks fairly easy. It's 1 bucket, it's 2 cobblestone, and then it's 6 dripstone. The dripstone here is made in the pressure chamber that we set up in the last stream with a bucket of water and some compressed stone. The compressed stone is made, again, in the pressure chamber with stone. Easy enough. We have stone over here. Let's go ahead and throw that into the hopper that feeds into our pressure chamber. While that compresses down, we can go ahead and grab a bucket to grab some water, and that should be everything for the dripstone. And as we saw just a second ago, the dripstone is duplicatable with the resource generator. And so I feel like we might as well just make one and then use the resource generator to duplicate more. Real quick as well, while we wait for this stuff to process, you'll notice I do have dark oak over here. The way that we get extra saplings is by crafting the regular oak saplings with moss balls. So if you look up any kind of sapling in JEI, or at least any kind of vanilla Minecraft sapling, you can transform different saplings into other saplings with different combinations of moss balls. You'll see all the different saplings here that are craftable. And it turns out that something I wasn't aware of initially, the little soaking rack over here is actually surprisingly fast. If you put a full stack in here, it takes a little while for the first stone to get transformed into mossy stone, but as soon as that first stone is transformed, the soaking table then rapidly soaks all of the rest of the stone. And so it's very easy to get a staggering amount of mossy stone using this drying table, and then of course you can place this down. Previously I was using my wand, but it did break between streams whilst I was doing this exact thing, and then of course you can just auto-mine to pick it up, and then there's a bunch of moss balls that you can use to make whatever saplings you like. Bag over here, compressed stone goes back in a second time, this time with the water bucket. I don't actually know if we're going to get that water bucket back. I would hope we do, but I have a sneaking suspicion we might not. Either way though, that's going to get us the dripstone. I think for the time being, I don't think we're going to need like thousands of dripstone, and we do already have hundreds of cobblestone. So what I might do here is kind of temporarily just move one of our pre-existing resource generators. Maybe this one for cobblestone right here. I also currently do not have a pickaxe. The reason for that is that I did do a little bit more terracotta mining between streams. I headed back over to the Badlands over here, and I got about 3 lapis pickaxes worth of terracotta, and I did run some of it through the extractorator over here to get more copper, but most importantly more coal to keep all of our systems running, and of course to keep our farm running as well. Hopefully that's not going to be there for too much longer. I thought I did make some kind of sword. I did. And it looks like, unfortunately, we are going to have to add to our banner collection, and we are going to get the bad omen here for an hour and 40 minutes. I think that's fine. Again, I don't think we're going to go near any inhabited villages anytime soon, but it's unfortunate. I really was hoping to avoid those guys. One thing that was also added, by the way, in the newest pack update is finally the ability to get the purified water canteen. You can just smelt up a regular canteen in a furnace, and that will transform it from a canteen full of regular water into a canteen full of purified water, which I believe has more uses in it, and of course has the added benefit of filling up your thirst faster and not giving you the thirst debuff as well, the thirsty debuff, I should say. So I've got compressed stone here, which is not what I want, right? I'm after the dripstone. Let me try putting that back in again. I noticed the bucket is not here. I don't know if it just fed the compressed stone right through or not. I hope that's not the case. Oh, no, there we go. Dripstone. Perfect. Did we get our bucket back? No. Oh, no, we did. Nice. Okay, cool. Perfect. So let's take the dripstone. Let's quickly eat to refill our hunger. And let's also quickly take the new purified water canteen for a spin as well, which, look at that. Perfect. So over here, we can throw down our dripstone, like so. We can temporarily move this resource generator over to here. That's going to begin producing the dripstone. And I believe the best modifier block that we currently have available to us is still crystallized mineral here. The gold is not particularly good. The iron is not particularly good. The lapis is not particularly good. I think mineral is our best option. Diamond is slightly better, but getting a whole block of diamond just to make dripstone faster is probably not our best bet, especially given that we currently don't have that much in the way of coal. But also, this should definitely be a barrel and not a regular Minecraft chest, because the barrel, of course, is going to be substantially easier for us to open without having to break it to get its contents. So let's do a quick one of these and of these. But already we are just one dripstone away, and with that final dripstone, we now have everything we need to make the fluid generator. Nice. So the way this works is we take a bucket, we can go grab some lava, we can also take our glass here, that's going to be quite useful. Again, I am going to take this mineral block here. We probably don't need to leave it there because we don't need more dripstone. In fact, I think we can probably swap this back to cobblestone now. I really don't think that we're going to need the dripstone for anything else. It looks like it's really just used to make the fluid generator. And so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to set this up, I think for now, somewhere over here. I do wonder, in fact, if we can have the fluid generator pump directly into the liquid compressor. I don't know if that's going to work. The way that it works is you place down the resource generator on top of some kind of fluid inventory. So we're going to put it down on top of this tank. This tank currently has 15 buckets of lava in it. You then want to put the lava on top of that resource generator. So to do that, we want to, of course, place down some blocks like this to make sure that the lava doesn't escape. And then once we've got those blocks down, we can, of course, replace that crystallized mineral block in the center with a bucket of lava. So now we're down to 14 buckets in there. And up here, we can place this down like so. And down here, we should see this. Oh, sorry, I've done this completely wrong. That is my bad. I need the fluid generator. This is, did I put the fluid generator down over here? I totally did. That is my bad. Let me get rid of this guy. Let's put the resource generator down here, and then let's go put the fluid generator down over on top of the tank. Perfect. So up on the top here. Hello, my friend. You shoot at the cactus. Goodbye. Excuse me. You messed with my farm. All right, back over here. We should be able to place the lava bucket down into that little glass hole. Right about there. You'll see the fluid generator, much like the resource generator, changes color. And now if you right-click, it says current rate is 220 ticks, and the current resource being obtained is lava. And so now once every 11 seconds, we will generate, I believe, 25 millibuckets of lava, which is not a particularly large amount of lava in the grand scheme of things. It takes 1,000 millibuckets to get one bucket, but it is free and it is limitless. And of course, much like with the regular resource generator, you can make it faster by adding a modifier block to the top. For example, if we put the mineral here above the lava, we can now go down and right-click on the fluid generator, and you'll see now that it is producing lava every 90 ticks, so every 4.5 seconds, as opposed to every 11 seconds. It's now substantially faster, and you'll see at the top there that we've now got 14,175, 14,200, and it's going to slowly but surely tick up every 4.5 seconds by 25 millibuckets. But we now have unlimited lava, and so hopefully what we can do now is upgrade to this liquid compressor and use that as our sole source of power for this charging station, because we really don't need that much pressure in the charging station. You'll see right now a lot of the pressure is being deleted, and the drones rarely make their way over to the charging station. So what I am going to do, I was going to take this, but it looks like the drones are both pretty low on health, so I'll leave them where they are for now, and I will steal one of these air compressors here. I will use the wrench, because I think the wrench makes it a little easier to not lose as much pressure. And then back over at our crafting grid, we should now be able to upgrade this air compressor to a liquid compressor. For that, we do need another small tank, which is easy enough. We're just missing 2 compressed iron. I will go ahead here, I think, and put maybe a stack of iron into the chamber to try and get a stack of compressed iron, just because we do need a lot of it going forward for more pneumatic craft stuff. And as I mentioned in the last stream, there is also the use of crop sticks or crop supports that we could take advantage of to try and get even faster growth on our wheat. We do have 28 compressed iron in here, though, and so back over here, we should be able to make ourselves a small fluid tank. Fantastic. And hopefully, with a little bit of leather, which we can get by putting bundled rotten flesh into the drying table. The bundled rotten flesh we can, of course, get by crafting all that rotten flesh we got in the first few episodes. We could move our current drying table, but I think, given how cheap it is to make a second drying table, we might as well do this, because this one, don't forget, is currently a soaking table. This one is a drying table. We'll throw the rotten flesh in there. That's going to get us some leather. We really only needed 1 bundle, I think, but might as well get a few. And then back over here, boom, and boom, we have a liquid compressor. Nice. So my question now is, if I break this tank, this, of course, retains its inventory. Perfect. Does this work? It totally does work. Look at that. That is fantastic. I did not know whether or not that was going to work, but the fact that it does work is intriguing, because it means that what we should be able to do then is just place this whole setup, and I'm going to break the glass here because I don't want to risk losing this block of crystallized mineral, but what we should be able to do then is over here, we can just swap out 1 for 1 the air compressor with the fluid generator, and then we can just build the lava production system on top of that. So let's get rid of the hopper. Let's get rid of the air compressor. Again, I think doing that with the wrench makes slightly more sense. And then we'll, of course, replace that with the liquid compressor. From there, we can place the fluid generator directly on top. We want the lava directly on top of that. So once again, I will surround that with glass. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fantastic. Getting up there is going to be a bit of a pain. But once we're up here, once again, throw the lava in the center. And again, I will go ahead and throw the block of mineral on top. Nice. And so now we should have, hopefully, a completely automated and completely kind of hands-off farming system. The real question is whether or not this is going to be able to produce enough pressure to keep this high. I think it should do, though. It looks like the pressure is climbing here. And again, the drones don't really spend that much time on the charger. You'll see this guy's already back up at 3.1 bar. And the harvesting drone, who I assume is around here somewhere, is hopefully also pretty well stocked on pressure. He's at 1.1 bar, but he'll go and charge up as and when he's ready. There is a slight flaw, and that slight flaw is that because the collecting drone can only collect in a 17 by 17 area, there are some bits of wheat and wheat seeds that kind of pop off out into the water that he can't quite reach. I think that's worth it, though. I think sometimes they'll kind of pop off to the water, and sometimes they'll pop off into the farm. If they pop off into the farm, then we're fine. If they pop off into the water, then we're less fine. I do think there are range upgrades we can make, and I do believe we can add these to the drones. They actually don't seem too difficult to make. Let me try making one of these real quick, and let's see if we can add it to the collecting drone, because even if we can just increase the collecting drone's range by 1 block, maybe 2 blocks at most, we can probably quite safely collect all of the wheat seeds and all of the wheat. So to make just the 1 range upgrade, we need 1 bow, we need 4 lapis and 4 arrows. The only thing we're missing here is a bow, and of course for the bow, we need string, and we've been through this before. For string, we need leaves. Leaves we can craft into leafy string. Leafy string we can craft into regular string, of course, assuming we have enough leaves. And so real quick, let me go get, I guess, a new set of shears, and let's quickly get a bit more string for that bow. And of course, we do now have our mechanical squeezer here, which does make squeezing this green wool that much quicker and that much easier. Back over here, we should now be able to make the bow required for the range upgrade. Let's do you and you. Now, one thing that chat has also pointed out is that we could potentially look at the standby upgrades as well here. These do require redstone torches. I believe the idea behind the standby upgrades is that these are going to lessen the amount of pressure used by the drones when they're not actively working, because right now they kind of just never stop. I think they use the same amount of pressure just all of the time, even when there's nothing to harvest. Whereas if you put the standby drone upgrade in, then they should stop using pressure when they're not doing anything. They'll just kind of sit down and not do anything. Now, in order for that to work, we do need some beds, and thankfully we do have what it takes to make another bed here. Obviously, if we want to make 2 of these, we are going to have to get some more wool, but as we just saw, getting more wool, not going to be too difficult. Let's do 1 of these, boom, and we just need more lapis. Of course, right now our lapis not connected up to our refined storage system, although that is something that we can look to improve in the future. Of course, I could move like a stack over, but I am a little concerned about the fact that we are, as per usual, pretty close to our max amount inside the refined storage system there. Slight bit of fire, which might be okay. It's not ideal if the chests burn, or if the drones burn for that matter, because the drone does have... The drone's not dead, right? Let me check. I didn't burn my harvesting drone, right? I might have killed my harvesting drone. Oh, no, he's here. Okay, we're fine. Because we did put him on top. What I'm going to do real quick, let me grab this guy. Okay, and then inside the charging station, we should be able to upgrade this drone. So we'll click the little manage upgrade section, and you'll see over here, not over here. I thought there was going to be a tab for the standby upgrade. Oh, there is, it's right here. The standby upgrade says, when inserted, the drone will go into standby mode when idle, saving air. Don't forget that drones will take fall damage, so care is advised. I think that's fine. I don't think they're going to take too much damage. And then here, range upgrade increases the collection range of the drone by 1 block per upgrade. So putting in the 1 range upgrade in here is going to increase the range by 1 block. And so I guess in an ideal world here, we'd want to get 2 of those to really maximize, because most of the excess wheat and seeds do fall in the water, but occasionally some of them do make it onto the dark oak logs around the outside. And so if we could finagle 1 more of those range upgrades, that would kind of fully cover, I think, any and all wheat and seeds that could possibly be generated by this wheat farm and by the harvesting drone. And boom, range upgrade. Nice. So now, if we go and throw this into that drone, we should have finally fully upgraded this section of our farm. Let's do this, and then let's just take this guy out. And now, he's got 2 range upgrades. It doesn't tell you the exact range, but I believe it should now be 19 by 19. One thing I might do here, I'm going to put you obviously back on here, and that guy should go and collect everything that he needs to collect. I am going to pick this guy up. I think it's fine, but just to be safe, I'm going to put him down. Oh gosh, I'm going to put him down like here against... Oh no! Is he okay? Nope, he's not okay. I can hear him dying. You're okay. You're okay. He's fine. He's fine. I probably shouldn't have... No, he's fine. He's fine. He's fine. Okay, I might also go ahead and do something like this. It's going to look a little janky and awkward, but I think that should be okay and should prevent the chest there from catching fire and should hopefully keep everything going smoothly. But you'll see here we're doing pretty well on wheat and on seeds. And if we do a quick test here, if I put some wheat seeds down on the edge, we should see that our collector drone is now able to collect these. Look at that, fantastic. Okay, cool. So now, let's head back over to our chicken area. We've got our 10-10-10 chicken over here. And then in here, we should have a 10-9-10 chicken that we just created. We do. Let's take the 10-9-10 chicken. And let's go... excuse me, my friend, you belong in here. The 10-9-10 chicken can go in here. We can breed that with the 10-10-10 chicken for what I'm assuming is going to be a guaranteed 10-10-10 baby. Excuse me? You can move out of the way so I can see the child. There you go, thank you. Yes, 10-10-10, perfect. So we have the 10-10-10 here, and then we have the 10-10-10 here. Fantastic. So, my thought process now is that we should be able to get that, or we should be somewhat able to get that coal chicken that we're after initially. If we want to get a coal chicken, we do need to get 250 coal, which we currently do not have. We've currently got, by the looks of it, 40 coal. There is, of course, more coal that we could steal out of places like here, and we do still have more, and in here, actually. And there's more terracotta that we can use as well. The reason why I didn't put the coal into the system is, as you can see, the system is very full, which is not ideal. And it's kind of full from all the clay that we got alongside the coal previously, which is not great. So let me dump some of my inventory here. Let's try and gather all our coal together, and we kind of just have to feed all of that coal to one of these chickens. So I'm going to take the 10-10-10 chicken, and I'm going to set him up in his own little area for the time being. In fact, I might just, I was going to put him in a hole in the ground, but that seems a bit rude. And so what I'll do is I'll make a new fenced off area, and we'll put him in there just until he is fully converted to the coal ways. And then once he's fully converted, we can then move him, of course, to the nest over there that the cactus chicken currently inhabits. So if we put him down, he's 10-10-10. If we begin to feed him coal, we do have to give him 250 coal, which is going to take us a second here just to get all of the coal into him. But as soon as that number at the top there reaches 250, he should convert into a coal chicken. All right, 247, 248, 249. And look at that. We have a 10-10-10 coal chicken. And so let's go ahead and just release this guy back into the wild. He's kind of not really too necessary for us at this point in time. And then if we take our coal chicken, we can then place him, of course, onto the nest, and we can give him a seed. Seeds we now have in abundance, and you can pipe the seeds into the nest. So we could start taking the seeds from that chest over there and just piping them directly into the chicken nest. For now, if we give him, let's say, one seed, the drops do still take a while. It's going to take 8 minutes to drop this seed, which is not ideal. Although, I'm also fairly certain of a thing here, that if we get another coal chicken, which would require another 250 coal, that is expensive, but if we get another coal chicken, I'm fairly certain we can then breed the coal chickens together to get even more 10-10-10 coal chickens specifically. People are saying that the drops after the first drop are quicker, so maybe the first one's going to take 7 or 8 minutes here, but then the ones after that might be faster. I'll drop 64 seeds in there, and once this 7 minutes kind of comes to a close, we can see if that is indeed the case. In the meantime, I think I'm going to keep breeding these chickens. I think these guys might be ready to go again. Actually, let me make sure I grab as much seed as I can possibly grab, and we do have many more, of course, over on our farm. And I do want to put out some crop sticks to see if those are any good. But yeah, there we go. Those are breeding again. They do. Look at that. It's 29 seconds on this guy and 56 seconds on this guy. I don't exactly know what growth, gain, and strength do, but I think one of them might be decreasing the breeding cooldown time, because I have a feeling that if I breed two of these 1-1-1 chickens together, I think the breeding cooldown time is much longer. Yeah, it's 300 seconds on these guys. So I do think one of those stats, whether it's gain, strength, or growth, it might be growth, but one of these allows them to breed much faster. And so this guy's almost ready to go again. It's been mere seconds, and this guy is he's ready, he's done, which is something. And you'll see this guy is only growth 9, which is probably why he's taking a little bit longer. But yeah, we probably don't really need any of the other chickens now, actually, at this point. One thing that is good news for us, I guess, is that the stasis chamber, also known as the nest right here, is made with hay bales. And of course, one of the byproducts that we have of getting a staggering amount of seeds over here is we also have a staggering amount of wheat. And so we can, of course, take the wheat out of here, use that to make more hay bales. And then even if the setup is a little slow, we could just have multiple of these coal chickens all making coal, or we could have multiple clay chickens, for example, is something that somebody has recommended in the Twitch chat, which I do think is a good idea, because if we get a clay chicken, we can then automate the production of terracotta, which will then allow us to, in turn, automate the production of coal and of copper, more importantly, which I think would be quite useful for us. Over here, let's do one of these, and let's get really just as many hay bales as possible, which I think is fine for now. We do also need to factor in the fact that we do need food at some point. One thing we should be doing that we've not been doing up till now is we've not been making our bread in the most efficient way. We could smelt wheat dough to make bread, and you get 3 wheat dough from 3 wheat if you craft it with a bucket of water. So this essentially gives you 1 bread per wheat, as opposed to the current crafting recipe that gives you 1 bread for 3 wheat. So 3 times as much efficiency there on the wheat, which is probably going to be good for us. And grass is one of those things we are going to need more of, but as we saw before, we can just bone meal moss blocks if we do want to get more grass, and so getting these stasis chambers really shouldn't be too difficult for us. All right, so we are just 10 seconds away here from the next drop, actually. So we have our first drop. So I'm intrigued here. Once we get to 0, I'm intrigued, one, how many pieces of coal we get. Interesting. So it does only take 52 seconds to get to the next drop after that second drop. And we got 3 coal that time. So I'm assuming that we get 3 coal per time because we've used 3 of our wheat out of the stack. So we can turn 1 wheat into 3 coal in 50 seconds. That's really not too bad. It's not like lightning fast or anything, but given that it's just wheat seeds that we've already automated the production of, that's pretty good. And we can, of course, utilize this coal to then feed up another chicken and make that into a 10-10-10. Over here, I got rid of the 10-9-10 chicken. I just put him back in the pen. And now we have exclusively 10-10-10 chickens over here. And again, the benefit now is that these both take like 30 seconds to cool down after breeding. And so we can really start to pump out just a staggering number of chickens. And again, the idea really is going to be to take the wheat seeds from here automatically, pump them around and distribute them amongst any chickens that we have in nests and use that to generate any amount of resources. Like we said before, well, we could do clay to get terracotta, but I don't know actually if that's the best idea because we still then have to smelt the clay into terracotta. We could just cut out the middleman and go straight for a copper chicken. Yep, there is a copper chicken right here. And I believe the copper chicken, it takes 250 copper in order to convert, but it does say here can breed true, which is what I was looking for before. But you'll see it produces copper, just straight copper ingots. And again, I think it's going to be the exact same as the coal chicken, to where I assume it's going to produce 3 copper every 50 seconds at the cost of 1 wheat. And so I feel like we might as well do that. Along the same lines, I do wonder if like getting an iron chicken is worth it. We'd already have the coal chicken, so we could just, automate the smelting of the iron that we have. But to be honest, we could also potentially just look at increasing the size of the wheat farm, which I know sounds a little crazy because the wheat farm's already pretty big. But if we wanted to put up to a maximum of 16 range upgrades into each drone, we could then increase the current 17 by 17 area to like a 33 by 33 area, just a massive behemoth of an area to grow wheat with. Is my, he's fine. He's just recharging. He's doing okay. There's a lot of wheat to harvest, but he'll do it all very quickly once he's done with his recharging. And we can put speed upgrades, I think, into the drones to make them faster. And we could even, if we really wanted to, make like a multi-level farm as well. We could add like a 2nd or 3rd level to that setup to just really go all out in terms of the seed production, and then really kind of hone in on the chickens for production there. And of course, as we saw before, we can do this to make these crop supports here. I don't know how useful they are. I don't know how much faster they make wheat grow. It does complete the useful items chapter for us, which is quite nice. But I believe that we can just place these down onto our pre-existing crops. And I'm assuming that, as per usual, the drone should still be able to harvest these, but I think that they're just going to grow faster than they would without the crop supports. Back over here, let's keep doing this. Let's keep breeding those chickens. And yeah, I guess let's begin. We're already smelting up copper over here. People also make a good point that a redstone chicken is probably well worth investing in. Again, 250 redstone is a lot, but given that we then don't have to worry about utilizing the mineral chunks going forward, I think it's probably well worth it. So let's go ahead and maybe get another mesh. I did replace the meshes in here between streams with gold meshes, because at this point in time, gold is like the one resource that we are producing automatically. And so we do actually have quite a large amount of gold, even more gold than we have iron currently. And the gold mesh is a higher tier than the iron mesh as well. But let's drop you in here. Let's get all of the crystallized mineral chunks transformed into redstone, and then we can go ahead and get ourselves a redstone chicken. And we are going to have to bring the seeds over. Last episode, I did talk about the potential of using a regular drone to move the seeds over. The trouble with that is that you need a programming table, and the programming table is a bit of a pain to get. It requires plastic that we currently don't have the infrastructure to make, and plastic does require that we go through the refinery. We get ourselves the LPG here, and again, we need the refinery and the crude oil. We probably will look at doing that at some point, but right now it's a lot of work to get a drone to move items from here to here. On top of that, we also don't have access to the finished PCBs. These require unassembled PCBs, which require a whole setup of assembly machines. You also have to get like etching acid, you have to get UV tanks, you have to get etching tanks. It's a whole endeavor that, again, I don't think is necessarily going to be worth it for this short little transfer of items. Also, I have figured out how to use the pipe placer, also known as the pipe connector. This one right here. We tried to make this work in the last episode, but we didn't quite get it to work. That's because the UI here is a little incorrect on how to set it up. But real quick, if I grab some item pipes, what we can do is, as it says here, you can shift right click to set the positions. So here, and of course, put this in your offhand first, and then we're going to go ahead and go right click right-click, shift right-click on both of those. Then you want to shift right-click in the air to open up the interface, and you can click place pipes when you're ready to go. So it's kind of hard to see, but right now it's going out, down, underground, and back up. And that's kind of the default. You have to go underground. It doesn't place pipes in a straight line. But what you can do is you can shift and scroll, and it will change the depth. So it starts at depth 1, and then you can scroll up. And I don't know if you can quite see those lines there. They're a little faded. But basically, the higher you set the depth, the lower the pipe will go. I don't know if you can quite see there that it's going real far down. So when it's set to 9, it will go out, it'll go down by 9 blocks, it'll go across, come back up, and go into here. And I think this is actually going to be pretty useful. If we set it back to like 3, we can then shift right click in the air, place pipes, and boom, it places down pipes automatically for us. It takes the pipe out of the chest, runs it down into the ground, and back up. You can go all the way down to depth 98. That would be a little insane, but what I'm thinking we can do with this is we can potentially utilize it over here, right? We can use the chest that's currently down over here as our starting point, and then we can place another chest or a drawer of some kind over on the other side over here that we want to feed the seeds into, and then we could potentially use the pipe placer to very quickly and easily place all the pipes down without having to break open our wheat farm or dig underneath it. One thing I am a little interested in, I haven't tried it, but let me try putting this on a diagonal. So if I put this over here, and then I go from here to here, that does totally work. Look at that. It does a little zigzag underground, and I assume if I shift right click and place pipes, that it's going to place the pipes underground in that zigzag pattern for me. Nice. The Twitch chat is suggesting that it's possible we might be able to use this to break the obsidian. I don't think that's going to work, but we can give it a try. I think that the pipe connector is limited on what it can break, but it's quite possible that it might be able to break the obsidian. So we can give it a try. Let me get rid of these. Let's put one chest down. Ooh, how do I want to do this? I'm intrigued, actually. If I put one chest here, and I put one chest here, I think these might be a little too low down, because I think it's just going to go beneath them. But let's give this a try. If I take my pipe connector, and I shift right click here and shift right click here, that looks like it's going to break the obsidian if it works. And the answer is that it got rid of the obsidian, but that we didn't get the obsidian? Interesting. So it it did destroy the obsidian, but we didn't get it, unfortunately, which, pros and cons. I mean, it got rid of it without me having to break it by hand, I guess, but we did also lose that obsidian, which is not really the end of the world. We can make more obsidian, of course, now very easily with our unlimited lava and our thing over here, the name of which I've forgotten, the fluid mixer, of course, right? So that seems completely fine. Someone asked if bedrock can be deleted. That's actually a very interesting question. My guess would be that, like, maybe. But anyway, let us, in that case then, see about making more item pipes. I think I'm going to hold off until we have the redstone chicken before we start making more item pipes. But what I'm going to do now, basically, I'm going to go ahead and try and get 250 redstone, which we're, just over halfway towards here. I'll keep putting the crystallized mineral chunks in to keep that going. We're also going to keep going with the copper, so we'll try and get 250 copper as well. And then we'll also try and get 250 iron, and then we'll use all of those to see if we can't get just a little array of chickens over here for each of the kind of key resources that we currently need. All right, so a lot of forceful chicken feeding later, and we are basically good to go on the redstone chicken here. This guy just needs 5 more pieces of redstone, and boom, look at that. He's a lovely, well-adjusted redstone chicken. Let's grab him, or her, and place him onto this net over here. Boom, fantastic, and I feel like we might as well just give him a stack of seeds. I'm going to top you up to 58, and over here, I do notice a lot of wheat. Are we doing okay over here? Yeah? This guy's just taking a long time to fill up even higher. He might be protesting the fact that he was on fire not too long ago, but we still got a lot of seeds. Hopefully he gets back to work soon, though. Back over here, let's give our redstone chicken a stack of wheat seeds. And then I have begun to feed the copper chicken right here, 128 ingots, and the iron chicken, who also has exactly 128 ingots. So if we want to get more copper and more iron more quickly, we could do with another one of these blast brick furnaces. Blast brick furnace, which might be makeable. I think also just a regular blast furnace also works now, which would be more expensive on the iron front, but would be less expensive on the smelting clay front, because actually we've got a fair bit. We've got more more brick than I anticipated, although it does appear we're now out. That's fine. We've got loads of clay, and we do have some furnace space available over here. Speaking of furnace space, I do also want to grab some more of the wheat and get some more dough cooking as well, because we are now pretty much out of bread. We used most of our bread making these hay bales here, and so now I don't have access to an abundance of wheat that allows me to quickly and easily just make bread willy-nilly. So let us see. I actually think we're completely out of wheat here, right? We've got 57 hay bales, which may have been excessive. Oh no, we do have 4 wheat, and so we can make one batch of wheat dough like this. Could have done that in my inventory as well, actually, now that I think about it. But let's get you in there. Fantastic. And let's also, I guess, we'll go and get some iron smelting in here. We do need more copper, and for that we're going to have to process more of the terracotta that we have over here. I'm hoping we have enough to get another 2 stacks of copper for this copper chicken, and of course we should be able to slowly but surely just take more iron from down here and use that to smelt for the iron chicken. That should be fine as well. Do we have enough brick? The answer is no, because we need to get at least 3 of those. That's fine. We do also have, of course, the next quest line here to work on, that being the Age of Diamonds, which is something I do want to start working on sooner rather than later, because I do want to get a solar panel made so that we can kind of forego this generator. Again, I know we are making coal automatically now, and then we're kind of slowly but surely getting rid of all of the uses that we have for coal. We've gotten rid of the air compressor. We're getting rid of the need for this blast brick furnace by setting up iron and copper chickens, and then we're now going to get rid of this coal generator. So there's probably not many uses for coal left at this point, but I do think it's probably worth investing in. So while we wait for that clay to smelt up, if we want to get started on the Age of Diamonds, we need grains of infinity, and these grains of infinity can be made by holding some flint in your offhand and some deep slate or cobbled deep slate in your main hand, then shift right click a block of obsidian, crying obsidian, or a grindstone. So this would have been more useful when we had that rogue piece of obsidian in the ground mere moments ago, but thankfully, making a grindstone is surprisingly easy. Fantastic. We do have blackstone. Was it blackstone we needed? Hold on, let me check the recipe again there. No, it's deep slate or cobbled deep slate. Do we have any deep slate? We do. We got 43 deep slate. Fantastic. So we'll take this. We'll take some flint. And if we hold the flint in our offhand and the deep slate in our main hand, and then we shift right click, look at that. We can slowly but surely convert, by the looks of it, 1 deep slate into 1 grain of infinity. And it looks like there's a chance for the flint to be used, but it's not guaranteed. Fair enough. And so that gets us 21 grains of infinity there, and these can be used to craft the void chassis. So these require iron bars, grains of infinity, and diamonds. Of course, the diamonds require blocks of coal, which again is one of the reasons why this coal chicken is so useful, because we can just take the coal out of here, craft that into a block of coal over in our crafting grid, like so, and we need, I believe it was 8 blocks of coal in order to get 1 diamond. So we'll take the 8 blocks of coal, we will throw that in over here, boom, that should get us our first diamond, and then we can use that, hopefully to get, I think a sag mill would be our best course of action here. The sag mill requires 3 flint, 2 dark steel ingots, 2 gears, looks like stone gears what we're after here, and then 1 extractinator, as well as the void chassis, of course. The dark steel, though, throws a bit of a wrench into our plans, because it means we are going to have to start by getting the primitive alloy smelter, because this primitive alloy smelter is required to make dark steel, which is an alloy of obsidian, powdered coal, and iron. Powdered coal, I see, we can get by mechanically squeezing coal. Fair enough. So let's grab a little bit of coal out of here. Let's throw that in there to get some powdered coal cooking. Our diamond here should be on its way, assuming we have... Oh, wait. It's not on its way? It's not on its way because we don't have enough pressure to make all of the compressed iron that we tried to make earlier. I see. Okay, real quick then. Let me grab this coal. Let's also get the other air compressor back down. We picked this up earlier, of course, from our drone farm. And so let's replace that down over here. I was trying to place it down here. There we go. And then we can give both of these a little bit of coal. We do still have the safety valve on here as well. And hopefully once that compressed iron is done cooking, we should get our diamond as well. At which point, I think we should have basically everything that we need in order to make this primitive alloy furnace. I do think that our drone is not working here, this harvesting drone. It might be to do with the glass block on top here. What I'm thinking is if we replace it down like this, and of course make sure that the her goes back in there as well, although I don't see a her here, although I think I can give him the lapis her. Does that work? Will he take that? He will take that. The glass on top could be causing potential issues in terms of harvesting, although no, it looks like he's fine. I think that the problem was that we placed him on top and then we placed the glass on there, and then maybe that caused some problems. I'm not quite sure. We'll keep an eye on him, but he is once again rapidly harvesting all of this wheat now, which is fantastic. That's what I want to see. And we now, over here, are, I believe, pretty much good to go on moving forward. I say that. We're a little ways away on the diamond here. That's fine. And a bit more pressure in the chamber. Boom, we got a diamond. Whilst I was waiting for this, I did also get down that second blaster brick furnace, so now we're smelting both copper and iron, and I did do a bit more chicken feeding as well, so our iron chickens and copper chickens are just a little bit closer now to their transformation. Back over here, we have a primitive alloy smelter, which I can place down onto my power line, and oh, this doesn't require power. Interesting. It's a very simple interface. This requires, if we're going to make dark steel, we need obsidian, powdered coal, and iron. So powdered coal, we have. Obsidian, we can get with lava and water over in that fluid mixer. I do only need 2 buckets for this, so let's do 1 bucket of water with one of our many buckets of lava. Boom, and boom. I do love how fast this is. It's just like instantaneous. I will do that again because I think we're going to need quite a bit of dark steel here. My real question is how slow is the primitive alloy smelter? The regular alloy smelter is usually quite slow. This requires fuel. It's not too bad. It's pretty slow. It's not fast by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely didn't think that it would be that fast. I thought it was going to be slower than that for sure. So that's good. We'll get a few more pieces of obsidian. Boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. And so let's see. Do we have our first batch of dark steel? I say our first batch, our first individual dark steel. We do. And so we do now have almost what it takes to make the chassis. Of course, to make the chassis, we need another diamond, which means we need to get another 8 blocks of coal. Thankfully, our coal chicken is working overtime, so let's go and do another one of these. Boom. That's not going to take too long, I don't think, because the pressure is already quite high here for making that diamond. Over here, let me put the obsidian in to keep getting more dark steel, because if we want to make the sag mill, we need 2 dark steel. We also need 2 of those stone gears. To make these, we just need stone, cobblestone, and sticks. Cobblestone, of course, we have in abundance. Again, I probably between streams will look at making another 1K drive, or at least another 1K drive, maybe like 2 more 1K drives, so that we can hopefully not have to, worry about putting cobblestone in. I didn't want to take a stack and then, again, try and fill up this system unwittingly. Let's do this and this. Fantastic. And so I think, chat, that we are very close now to the sag mill. We do need an extractinator, which we could take the one we have, but I think making another one is cheap enough to where we might as well just do this and this, because I feel like we're going to be in the same situation where we want to use one of these to process terracotta, because I still think we don't quite have enough copper to actually complete the chicken transformation. So I think we are going to have to go get some more terracotta and run it through the extractinator if we want to get that copper chicken. For now, though, let's go see if that diamond is ready. It is indeed. Fantastic. And so now we can make ourselves a void chassis just as soon as we get some more iron bars, which of course does require some of that iron. That is going to put us a little bit further back on the chicken transformation. Our iron chicken is very close to transforming here. Copper is at 181 and iron is at 192. So about 50 or 60 iron away on the iron chicken. But once we have 6 iron ingots, we can of course make 16 iron bars. And with that, we can make our void chassis and we can make our sag mill, which I'll put down for now right about here. And the sag mill is beneficial in that it's going to allow us to get our first solar panel, which I think we'll look at in the next stream. For that, we do need this photovoltaic composite, which does require powdered lapis lazuli and powdered coal. The powdered lapis requires a sag mill. The powdered coal, of course, we're getting from the squeezer, but baby steps. We're working on that slowly but surely. So we'll do that next time when we come back. I didn't get the reward here for the Void Chassis. I didn't get the quest marked as complete simply due to the fact that we didn't put it in our inventory. That's fine. We do need to make the alloy smelter anyway to upgrade this primitive alloy smelter, which we'll also look at doing in the next stream. For now, I am going to quickly, I think, head on over. Well, actually, real quick. I don't think we've got enough here, right? No, we definitely don't. But I'm going to get some more iron smelting. And then while the iron smelts, I'm going to quickly head over to the Badlands after we sleep, grab some more terracotta, and see if we can't just push these chickens over to the edge. They're very close. They're all very close to the 250 mark. And I'm hopeful that very soon here we'll have a coal chicken, a redstone chicken, an iron chicken, and a copper chicken, all working to produce us passive resources. All right, and a quick trip to the Badlands later. We now have enough iron. The iron wasn't from the Badlands, but the iron was smelting whilst we were away. And I believe we have enough here to get our iron chicken. Fantastic. Let's grab this guy and move him over to his own little nest over here. And then behind me, in the blast brick furnaces, we of course have our copper smelting up here and here. And I think 41 is more than enough for us to get up to the 250 mark. Look at that. Fantastic. Let's take you as well and plop him down in the nest. Can I put him down facing the same way as everybody else? Nope. Okay, for whatever reason, this guy, he wants to stare. Did I put the nest down awkwardly? Hold on. I think I might have done. I think I might have put the nest down like sideways. I put it here. There we go. Okay, I was going to say it. Fantastic. That might have been like a wrench thing potentially. Did I like... I have no idea. Either way, let's give both of these some seeds to get them started. And again, they're going to take a little bit of time to get going. Surprisingly different times, though, which is interesting. But again, once they get going, they just produce stuff passively, which is fantastic. And so, next time, chat, we'll come back. We'll look at kind of solidifying the future of this automation, because we definitely need to look at taking this wheat and these seeds out of here automatically. Ideally, we would also potentially look at some kind of system for processing the wheat automatically. I think we could definitely do with... we can compress the wheat into sourdough, and then we could smelt that into bread. Sourdough bread is very good. That's very interesting. So this is interesting as well, because now, given the fact that we can set this up basically anywhere, right? We can put a liquid compressor with a fluid generator, lava, and a mineral block. We can put this anywhere we like. We could take this. We should probably take this and set up a copy of it over here so that we don't have to keep putting coal into our pressure chamber. But we could set up multiple pressure chambers. We could have one pressure chamber with another liquid compressor, with the lava set up on top of it that is constantly at the right pressure, and then we could just have all of our wheat piped into that pressure chamber to make wheat flour. And then this bit here is what makes it difficult, I guess, because we need yeast culture. How in the world do I get yeast culture? Can produce ethanol in conjunction with various plant sources. Hold on. Yeast culture. Is it used? So we make this... in-world yeast production. Water plus yeast culture plus sugar equals more yeast culture. So you can duplicate your yeast culture with sugar. That's interesting. And here you can use mushrooms and water to make yeast culture in the thermopneumatic processing plant. I don't know if there's a good way for us to get mushrooms. The Wandering Trader is interesting. We could go and try and find some, I guess, just kind of passively, but it looks like there's no real recipe for it. Either way, we can also do the same with mineral chunks if we wanted to. I think we can make those, or even the redstone, with the pressure chamber. I think it was the mineral chunks we were looking to automate here with lapis, so we could potentially do that if we needed more mineral chunks, which we could do for more quartz, but at the same time, we could also just look at getting 256 quartz to get ourselves, you guessed it, a quartz chicken, and then use that quartz chicken as our primary quartz, mechanism for getting quartz going forward. We could do the same with gold potentially, although we do already have gold automated, so I don't know if that's necessarily as useful. Let me quickly get seeds distributed amongst these guys again to make sure they're all nice and full. This is something we'll definitely look at automating in the next episode. We'll see about getting a bunch more of those item pipes. We'll have some more redstone, and we can use that to run a pipe directly over and get that distributed. And yeah, we'll also look, of course, at getting our first solar panel, so we don't have to rely on the coal generator. We'll look at getting the alloy smelter and seeing if we can't get some emeralds. And then from there, we've got like big power after that as well that we can start working towards as well. Unfortunately though, chat, those are all problems for future Isaac. For now, I am going to have to go ahead and ramp up this episode of Desertopolis there.